The visit of Khalifa Masih Khamis, that was in 1997 also, but it was a separate visit. And that was after UK Jalsa that year. Huzur's Khalifa Masih Rabe's had some of his cousins who were elders of the Jamaat who were visiting for the Jalsa. One of them was Hazrat Mirza Mansoor Ahmad, the father of Huzur. And the other one was Hazrat Mirza Muzaffar Ahmad Sahab, who was the Amir Sahab in USA for a long time. And they both came for UK Jalsa as Huzur's guests. So then when, after the Jalsa, Huzur wanted to take them for some excursion. And so he took them to, his plan, I think at the time, if I remember correctly, the plan was that they were going to go to the Lake District for 2 or 3 days, and then visit Hartlepool for 1 night, and then go back to London. But when Huzur got to the Lake District, I think the accommodation, it wasn't suitable. There was too many people, which had been arranged by locally. So Huzur, Khalifa Masih Rabe, said, we're going to go straight to Hartlepool, and we'll spend 3-4 days there. So that was, at that time, it was very special for us as a family. And I remember my father, on the first night of the visit, I still remember this, him telling me the next day, he said, I didn't sleep at all last night, not even for a minute. And he said the reason is that the promised Messiah had 3 sons from his second wife, Hazrat Amma Jan. And their representatives are all here. Khalifa Masih Rabe is obviously the son of Hazrat Muslim Maud. Hazrat Mirza Mansoor Ahmad is the son of Hazrat Mirza Sharif Ahmad. And Hazrat Mirza Muzaffar Ahmad was the son of Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad. And he said just that fact that those, all 3 are represented today in my house meant I couldn't sleep. But I did notice, of course, as a family, our focus was on Khalifa Masih Rabe and making sure, especially the elder guests we'd brought, everything was comfortable for them. But I did, at that time, I remember that Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, Khalifa Masih Khamis, was traveling, and he was coming with his father. And Huzur obviously had brought him along as well. And it was the first time I ever saw him. And I had just seeing the way he would always stay in the background. We went for a walk on the beach with Khalifa Masih Rabe. We would have fish and chips, and Huzur was there, Khalifa Masih Khamis, but he would always stay in the back. And just as a 12, 13-year-old boy, this was one of the things I noticed and I picked up on and I felt. Then I remember that if Huzur Khalifa Masih Khamis, Rabe was eating at the dinner table, Huzur would never come himself, Khalifa Khamis. If he got, but then Khalifa Masih Rabe would call him and say, tell him to come, and then he would come. And at the dinner table, I remember observing again, I was serving, helping to serve, but I would always see that he would keep his eyes down. He would only speak if Huzur directly addressed to him. So that level of respect and love for Khilafat was very evident. And also was Huzur's humility. Again, I said our focus was on making sure that Khalifa Masih Rabe was comfortable, and also that the elder Buzurgan were comfortable. And Hazrat Mirza Mansoor Ahmad Sahib, Huzur's father, he couldn't walk up steps by then. He was in his late 80s. And so we'd arranged for a bed in one of the rooms downstairs. We brought the bed from upstairs, we'd arranged it. And then he slept on that bed, and throughout those 3-4 nights, Huzur would sleep on the floor. And Huzur would use because we only had 2 or 3 bathrooms, we had a bathroom outside, which was for the staff, the security. And even though I'm sure we must have offered Huzur to use the upstairs bathrooms, which were being used by Huzur's family, Huzur would always go to the outside bathroom where the Qafla members were. And that's where he would do his ablutions, where he would do his brush his teeth or have a shower and stuff. And all of these things, like, again, I would had an impact on me as a child. And I remember after that, Huzur, obviously Huzur returned to Rabe. There was something that I had an attraction to the way I saw Huzur's personality. I started writing letters to Huzur just as a 14, 15-year-old in Rabe. And even though I didn't really know him, I'd only seen him on that trip. And he was Nazri Allah soon after he became Nazri Allah. But even at that time, Huzur would, all the way from Pakistan, he would write back to me. And I think it's probably I sent probably 5 or 6 letters, and I think I got replies to about 3. And I remember on the last one, Huzur said that he wrote back saying, I apologize because I didn't respond to your last 2 letters, and I'm responding to them all with this letter now. And so even that sense of humility, I mean, I was a 13, 14-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, and on the other side, he was the Nazir Allah at that time. But just to have that sense of respect and humility and keeping oneself to the ground, it was something that, so that when Huzur becomes Khalifa, and then you see later on, it's nice to have that personal reflection of before. And I know all the people, and you must have heard this as well, when people talk on MTA or when they come to events like this, that Huzur was always the last person who would give a speech, the last person who would want to address. He would want to stay in the background as much as possible.